Welcome to JMR Talks. Today we will discuss about some of the mistakes that managers might what you call make, how to avoid them, and secondly, if they wish to be a manager, whom people don't want to what you call quit. Now, look at the role of managers. Gallup long back established beyond doubt that they are the ones who play a key role in creating a strong and vibrant work environment wherein people give their work on best. Of course, it's not that doubts have not been raised about the possible role of managers. For example, Google to begin with, they thought that managers are not required. They went for a what you call a flat structure, but then they found that what you call employees are directionless, productivity got impacted and all that, and then what you call they went to the what you call drawing board once again and did the analysis, analyzing the huge data, and came up with the excellent traits or qualities of what you call managers. Now managers act like a bridge between the employer and what employees. On the one hand, they have to what you call, get the outstanding contribution for the employees, and at the same time, they need to what you call, take care of the what you call, employees. Now, given the nature of their job, it's not an easy job. So, as such, managers are not immune to what you call committing mistakes as such. But the beauty lies in being aware of such mistakes and trying to what you call avoid them. In other words, they need to focus on what you call improving. So let's look at what are some of the mistakes that they might what you call commit. Number one, failure to delegate. Some of the managers what you call feel that if they delegate some of their work, they lose their what you call importance. So in the process, what happens? They get overburdened, and coming to the employees, it limits what you call employees growth opportunities, because they are not given opportunity to to experiment, to learn, or what to do as such. Second, lack of recognition. We all are aware that recognition and reward are the two powerful tools in the hands of the managers to inspire the people to to get motivated as such. When the manager fails to recognize and reward, it impacts what we call the work environment. Third, lack of experience and overconfidence. Managers, when they're relatively what we call new, they lack what we call experience, maybe because of the educational background or what we call otherwise, they overestimate their abilities or what we call bit overconfident. As such, what we call they commit what we call some mistakes. Next, failure to communicate effectively. It's a well-known fact that communication is the hallmark of management. But some managers, might feel that okay, team very well understands. They don't prioritize the need to what we call effective communicate with the people. I keep telling my students, that context, connect, communicate. That's the process what you need to follow on a regular and a continuous basis. When you fail to what communicate effectively, people may not have clarity about what is that what they're expected to do. So their what team's performance gets impacted. A good manager has to be a good communicator. Next, micromanaging. Few managers, they wish to be involved in what each and everything. So when you're not giving what autonomy to the people, it leads to a toxic work environment as such. Daniel Pink, in his great book The Drive, he says three principal elements: autonomy, mastery, and purpose. People love to be what given some liberty, some autonomy to experiment, to commit such mistakes and all that. That's the reason nowadays we are talking about psychological safety. So when you are what getting involved in each and everything, leading to creation of toxic work environment, it impacts what teams morale, and it restricts their creativity and their ability to what innovate. Next, not seeking feedback. Few managers, they don't wish to what feedback. Even if they get feedback, they don't wish to what have a look at that. Maybe they feel that if they pay attention to what the feedback, they appear to be incompetent or vulnerable. But one thing what they forget that as a manager, you don't need to have answers for all everything. Oh, So because of this, not seeking the feedback about how they are supervising or managing and all that, it might lead to what we call repeated errors, and in the process they might what we call miss opportunities for improvement. Next, failing to build relationships. Harvard 75-year-old study has established that quality relationships are the key for someone being healthy and what we call happy. Now these managers, they fail to what we call build what we call relationships, and what we call in the process and the trust of employees. They don't invest what we call enough time or put enough effort in building the what we call relationships. It's not an exaggeration to say that relationships is the key for management. In other words, management revolves around what we call relationships. So, to overcome what we call these mistakes, managers must communicate effectively with their employees, delegate the work, use recognition and reward judiciously, share constructive feedback. Now all this what I call leads to a positive work environment where you can have growth, productivity, and what I call employee engagement. Great. But don't you think that managers, they wish to become someone whom people don't want to quit? So what is that a manager has to do something whereby people love to be what I call with them? We all are aware that people don't quit their jobs, but they're what I call managers. People who can effectively inspire and what I call lead others, they become the what I call great managers. Right? One might have a question as to whether management is an important skill. Well, LinkedIn's 2023 most in demand skills found that management is the topmost what I call skill required. Second, McKinsey's 2022 Great Attrition Research, found that uninspiring what I call what I call trusting managers are the major reason for the people to what I call resign from their jobs. Fine. So if you wish to be one whom people like it, what is that you need to do? Number one, they give context. They believe in what I call transparency. They establish what I call trust, whether it is contractual trust, communication trust, or what I call competency trust. Such managers are what I call proactive. They don't believe in let me cross the bridge when it comes. They communicate goals. They try to what I call understand the needs of the people, etc. Next, they are empathetic. They try to what I call understand the pain, suffering, needs, expectations, from the framework of employees. But in the current context, I think they need to what I call go much beyond being compassionate in their approach, because empathy means you're only trying to understand the pain, but when you say compassion, you're trying to what I call alleviate. Next, they help employees grow. There is a saying, till you become a leader or manager, growth is all about what I call success is all about growing yourself. But once you become a leader or manager, success is all about what I call growing others. So how you what I call grow your employees? Give new tasks, delegate, create a culture of what I call psychological safety. I love this quote. Stand behind employees when they are what I call successful, and stand in front of the employees when they what I call fail. That means accept the debit, pass on the what I call credit. Next, they value employees input. Every manager, is not expected to know all the answers. So it's always, good to help employees or your team to develop the what I call answers. When you involve, when you inform, when you inspire with your transparent approach, enabling approach, people perspire by putting their what I call best efforts. So managers, when they create an environment, by taking all these steps, employees, thrive on the personal front as well as what I call, professional front. And it helps to fulfill their potential as such. So let's hope that the what I call future managers and the would-be managers, take these steps, and love to what I call become a manager whom, what I call people don't wish to what I call quit. Thank you.